What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 105 of Lyon Live here in Football Manager 2019. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic. Today we start on the Premier League screen, and a reason that I decided to start here is because, of course, we have the second leg against Wolverhampton Wanderers coming up to start today's episode in the Europa League. I did not realise Wolves are bottom of the Premier League by a big margin. How the hell are they in the Europa League quarterfinals? They've been absolutely awful in the league, like beyond bad. They lost to Derby County in the FA Cup. It's not been a good season for them. And also at the top of the Premier League, look how close that is. 3 teams tied on points. Tottenham do have a game in hand. It's making our league look not that close, isn't it, in hindsight? It's a very interesting situation, of course, across the whole of Europe. Today we are going to be kicking things off, of course, with that second leg against Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Europa League. If you did miss last episode for whatever reason, you didn't see the first leg, I recommend going and checking it out. Of course, it may now, knowing that Wolverhampton Wanderers are bottom of the Premier League, explain why we were able to perform so well against them, but nevertheless, teams don't fluke their way to Europa League quarterfinals. They've got to have some quality about them. Fortunately for us, we are dismantling them. Well, we did in the first leg. Cue us now to lose the second leg at home. Of course, that first leg result was a 3-1 win away from home. The 3 away goals, I think, is going to be massive. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Of course, we've not got long to wait. This Thursday game against Wolves quickly approaching. We've had a week without a game, which has been nice. And off the back of this game, we are going to be taking on Bordeaux, who are 4th in the league, which, given our recent game against Guingamp, leaves me a little bit nervous. PSG, by the way, have just been knocked out by Porto. Brenner has grabbed a brace in this game. What has happened to this PSG side? Lots of their players in desperate need of rests by the looks of things. They are, well, they're struggling. They've got injuries to a few key players. Semedo's now out injured. Oscar Dominguez is out injured for up to 4 weeks. It's not looking good at PSG, and that makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Is that bad? That I enjoy watching them suffer? Perhaps a little bit. I believe they're playing on this Friday, which of course we won't be. We've got an extra day or two rest. Anyway, I noticed here Monaco taking on Guingamp. I'm not sure if that's a league game or if that's a cup game. We will wait and see. Part of me thinks it's the French Cup game. It was a league game, actually. With that result, they climb ahead of us. You can see we do have that game, well, 2 games in hand on them. But yeah, the league is close, isn't it? Getting towards that crunching end to the season now. Actually, the games we've got today are tricky ones as well. We've got, if we just look here, we've got Wolves to play. Then we've got Bordeaux, who are 4th, and Lille, who are 7th. Man, it could be easier, couldn't it? This is going to be some real tests. Of course, we have already taken on Monaco and PSG. Really, this Bordeaux game is probably one of the trickiest ones we have left of the season. So a win is going to be critical. Anyway, we've got the game here. I'm just wondering exactly what team I want to play. Sunday is back from suspension, which is good news for him. I think we will start him ahead of Kai Havertz. Our in his recent games really hasn't been that great. So actually, I'm going to give Kai the nod in the trequartista role. But this is the team we are going to go with here. It's a very, very strong team. It's pretty much our strongest 11, which is good. And I'm going to go with it because although we are 3-1 up after the first leg, the game is not completely over. You know, Wolves could still cause us a bit of a headache. I'm going to tell the players to guard against complacency. If we get an early goal here, fantastic. You know, it really lays the gauntlet down then for Wolverhampton Wanderers, because if we do get one, they're going to need to score 3 on the night. Vargas trying to get us off to a flyer. Free kick is tipped. I don't know why I keep referring to Wolves with their full name. I wish I could tell you. Wolverhampton Wanderers. There's something satisfying about saying it. I can't explain it. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, answers on a postcard. I can't explain it. Vargas, can you give us answers on a postcard? Ndombele, have a go. You've scored a few from this kind of range. This time, Rui Patricio is more than up to the task. He makes a good little stop there. But at least the early signs here for Wolves aren't looking too promising. They have, well, had slightly less possession than us, but they've had a lot of shots on their goal. That said, they have created stuff of their own, so perhaps we shouldn't discount them just yet. Keane boots it clear. Maulida breaking through. Can he tuck it away? He hits the woodwork. That was as good a chance as we're going to get all game, really. Clean through, one-on-one. Maulida missing it. Of course, Gabels is on the bench. I still want to kind of slowly reintroduce him to the first team, but part of me feels like Gabels, who's maybe got a few games under his belt, buries that chance. Well, we'll never know, however, because he is just chilling on the bench right now. Keane, still looking for this breakthrough, but we are on the attack again. Tackle flies in, falls to Ndombele. His effort dipping, but not quite dipping enough. It falls the wrong side of the crossbar. We are causing them problems, however. They are struggling, our Wolves. 35 minutes gone. They're yet to find a goal. You'd imagine they need a goal in this first half, really. Because of the away goals, they are going to need a minimum of 3 goals scored in this game. So the fact we've shut them out thus far is good. As Ndombele has another effort. I mean, he's getting closer with each and every one. Maybe his 4th one will fly in. Anyway, at the break, it's 0-0. Actually, I'm curious. How are the other games going on here? So, Betis are beating Auxerre 2-1 on aggregate. Roma are winning 2-1 on the night and 3-1 on aggregate over Sevilla. And Bayern are doing okay. Bayern, they are 1 goal up and 5 goals up on aggregate. Well, they're through. I'm gonna call it now. They are going through. Of course, Kai Havertz's former club. Could we meet them in the semi-final or final? We've got to focus on this game here and now. As Sunday brings it forward and hits it, I mean, that's a pretty blooming good goal, isn't it? That might be up there for one of my favourite goals I've seen this season. It's only Sunday's first goal of the year. That is crazy that he's not scored more. Ndombele lays it off to him. He picks it up here. It's the finish at the end of it all. Everyone stands off him. They give him no respect. Outside the foot. Top bins. I mean, we'll take that, won't we? Perfect start to the half. Another would be good here. Keane's header just over. But yeah, doesn't really change a great deal because Wolves are always going to need to score 3 goals. Just means if we can get another now, they need 4 to go through on away goals. But that seems a little far-reaching at this moment in time. They had 2 shots early on in the game. Since then, they've really not done a great deal. Militao's header straight down Patricio's throat there. You know what? I'm going to take off Maulida and I'm going to bring in Gabels. And I'm also going to bring in Lucas Romero for Toussaint. Going to protect a few of our key players. Toussaint, a player who I don't really want to get, get needlessly booked. So we'll take him off for Lucas Romero. And, well, Gabels, he needs game time. He needs time to build up some confidence. Don't feel like it'll be too far before he's back in the first team. But at the same time, there isn't a massive need to rush him in if we don't need to, as Vargas' effort not far wide of the post there. Cutting inside on that right peg of his. Donnarumma lays it short to Eder Militao. Where's he going to wander with this? He brings the ball out, gives off to Romero and thinks better of it. Goes back to his centre-back duties. Now with Vargas. Dinks it in, headed away. Memphis Depay, our former man. I wonder if he's going to wish he'd stayed with us. It is crazy to think that Wolves are on the cusp of getting relegated, rock bottom of the league when you consider the fact they've got Depay in their team. Sunday whips it in Keane, falls to Ndombele, 1 assist already, finds the back of the net with that. Double figures for the season now for him. That's pretty blooming good, isn't it? We'll take that. We will take that. Havertz with it, gives it to Sunday. Whips it in, headed clear, falls to Ndombele. I don't know if Patricio can do a little better there. He kind of gets a hand to it, but it's just not quite strong enough. And, I mean, with that, we should be through now. The Wolves need 4. If we score again, they need 5. The maths now becomes kind of simple. Away goals no longer can be a factor in this game because we've already scored more goals at home than they did. And let's be honest, with how this is played out, there's not a world in which they're going to score 4 in the last 24 minutes. I refuse to believe it. Keane through here. Gabels to his right. Welcome back, Gabels. That was your chance. I closed my eyes. I thought it was in. I'm not going to lie. I thought he'd scored it. Counting my chickens before they've hatched there. Not ideal. Not ideal. I feel like give him a few more games, he'll bang that in, but he should have been scoring it now. I can't even use the lack of games and lack of match sharpness as an excuse, really. I mean, 15 minutes left. We're through to the Europa League Semi-final. I'm conflicted. This is a competition we should be going very far in, having finished third in the Champions League group, but I would much rather be going far and deep in the Champions League. Of course, we won it a couple of years ago, so although the Europa League is not a Mickey Mouse tournament by any means, it's a nice one to win. I am going to be excited about it, but not to the same level. Havertz scores here. Ndombele with an assist. It's now 6-1 on aggregate. It's a little bit of a rout, and by a little bit, I mean it's a complete rout. Let's make our last change here. I am going to take off Moise Kean. Let's just protect him now. Give Freitas some chance. Give him some minutes. He got a few minutes in the previous leg against Wolves, the last 5 minutes of that game. Today he's going to get 15 to maybe make something happen, although I'm not too fussed if he doesn't make something happen. Yeah, what a performance this is to start things off. Of course, going into a couple of tricky games now against Bordeaux and Lille. This is just the game and match and performance and everything that we needed, really. Clean sheet is nice. We've looked pretty dominant. Not had as much possession in this game as we sometimes have in our matches, but we have looked by far and away the better team. We've never really looked at risk of slipping up here. 6-1. I mean, that's as commanding win as any that you can really expect against any opposition in the Europa League quarter-final. I say that. I know Leverkusen were absolutely spanking their opposition as well, but we're through. We're into the semi-final. It's the performance that we needed. You can see Ndombele, team leader, picked up man of the match. He was superb. 2 assists and a goal to his name from the centre of midfield. Auxerre, unfortunately, going out and Roma going out. It means that we have 4 teams of different nations in the semi-finals. We've got Spain, Germany, France and Italy represented. Kind of surprising not to see any English representation, really. Anyway, Romero, not doing so great. Of course, we're training him to play right wing back in case we want to go with a more, traditional system. Potentially strikerless that we've talked about before. It has seen a bit of a decline to his overall ability as a result. Anyway, Lucas Romero is going to be suspended for the game against Bordeaux. So Renato Sanchez onto the bench. And you know what? Gabels, you're going to start leading the line again. How much has he declined as a player? I'm hoping he can bounce back like Moise Kean has. I mean, he's lost his balance is what I've learnt here. You can see here he's not been hit too hard on the physicals. There's a few that have dropped off. Agility a tiny bit, but not as much as I was fearing, to be fair. It's going to be good to have him back. He was averaging over a goal every other game in the league before getting injured. You can see in his absence, we've had other players step up, but despite missing 3 months, he is still our top goal scorer. So that kind of says it all, really. Actually, really nice to see such a wide variety of goal scorers. You can see here 6 players hitting double figures. That'd be a good achievement for pretty much any team, I feel like. Not a great deal of rest, though, going into this Bordeaux game. They're in 4th. Who are we going to get in our Europa League semi-final? Let's find out. Let's put on automatic draw for some tension. It's going to be Sevilla. Not Sevilla. It's going to be Betis, who, of course, Fakir moved to in real life. Who's their key player? Who do I need to be scared of? They're valued at a quarter of our value. Their key player is apparently this guy, Podense. I mean, he looks pretty good as a playmaker, but we should be beating them, shouldn't we? They're currently 6th in the Spanish First Division. Their media prediction was 8th. Could be an interesting game over 2 legs against them. When do those games slot in? It's not actually for a little while. You can see it's going to be towards the end of the month, the first leg, away from home. We've got bigger fish to fry before then and now. Bordeaux and Lille, potentially Toulouse, will try and get in today. Of course, Toulouse, a division below us, so I will probably play a fairly weakened, rotated team for that game. Anyway, PSG taking on Brest. Brest, do us a favour, please! This is a league game. Please. It'd be a massive upset if they get anything. They've won 2-0, PSG. I've seen it already. Savic getting suspended, though. Could prove big. With that result, PSG guarantee themselves Champions League football. 5 points behind them. We do have those 2 games in hand, but it's 2 tricky games we've got coming up against Bordeaux and Lille. Oh, that's annoying. I could really do with them slipping up. Is it long until PSG take on Monaco? I feel like that's got to be coming up soon. It's not actually for a little while, but the fixture congestion for them does continue. Of course, with them not being in the Europa League and no longer in the French Cup either, they've just got the league to focus on now, which is not great. They've got Bordeaux to play at home, and we've got Bordeaux to play at home. This is the kind of game that could end up being a differential come the end of the year. Us securing a result, or not securing a result against Bordeaux, could really end up being the difference maker between ourselves and PSG come the end of the year. Everton set a record goal tally in the Championship. Not entirely surprising. We're looking good, though. We're looking very, very good. We've just got to keep on going in the same vein of form that we've been in. I don't know if Monaco are playing this weekend. I can't see them here, and really, it's a three-horse race at this point. Even if Bordeaux were to get a result against us, they are so far off the pace. Not entirely surprising. I feel like that's one thing that we've kind of come to accept here in France during our 5 years, is the fact there is kind of just a status quo. Durand not having the best game for Milan against Juventus. He conceded 4. Going to struggle to win games when you concede 4. Kareem Thomas, despite complaining about his training recently, is continuing to improve. Anyway, we take on Bordeaux. Sochaux taking on Monaco, so we can't really expect Monaco to slip up there, can we? We've had a little bit of recovery time, a chance to rest players. Let's see what we can do, shall we? A big result here needed. Do I want to go with this team? Or do I want to bring in Havertz? He's been very, very good recently. Aouar's been poor recently. I know a lot of that's been born out of missing penalties and that tanking his rating. But as a result, I am going to bring in Havertz. It's a strong team. It's a team that should be winning here. Gabels, are you fit enough to play the full 90 minutes? 45 minutes still. With that in mind, and the fact Maulida's been in good form, I am going to start Maulida, I think, at advance forward. I'm going to play Keane as the complete forward, I think, even though he is a better advance forward, just because Maulida, he's not quite versatile and well-rounded enough in my experience with him to play that other role for us. Anyway, they're playing a 4-1-4-1. I feel like this is a system that sometimes we really just shine against and other games we just struggle to break down. So we'll have to wait and see how things break out and kind of start here. Massive, massive game for us, though, against Bordeaux. They are in 4th. We are in 3rd as things stand. Of course, if we were to win our games in hand, we would go top. But this is one of those games in hand, and this is not a freebie. Havertz with it, of course, coming in for Aouar. Playing perhaps his most natural role, or rather position, not necessarily role as a trequartista, but his most natural position as the attacker midfielder. Let's see if he can shine in it today. Ndombele with the ball, gives it wide to Sunday, who crosses it, back post, Keane is there, cleared away, thought it was going to fall to the feet of Havertz, it doesn't, but Vargas keeps the attack alive. Sunday gets him behind the fullback, give it wide to him, Sunday continuing that run in the wide area, now with Havertz the edge of box, who hits it! Just over the bar. I got carried away. I got excited. I thought it was going to find the back of the net. It didn't. Spoilers. But early on, we have 60% of the ball and rising. Bordeaux struggling to do much with it, but, I mean, we're not doing that much better, are we, on the shots on target front? We've looked very solid defensively for the most part this season, and that's kind of continuing here. Havertz crosses it in. Keane, back post header, cleared away. Maulida, Keane with it again, just wide. Couldn't find the target with it. I talk about us looking defensively resilient. I feel like a lot of that is just borne out of the fact we really don't give up too many chances against us through the way that we hold on to the ball and the way that we're shaped up. Anyway, Havertz with it here. Gives it to Vargas. Hits it. I mean, that was ambitious, but it was the best chance of the game we've had. Pence with a crucial tip over the crossbar. Ball now whipped in. Back post. Keane heads it wide. That is a great opportunity at the back post. Could have another here. Vargas crosses in. Keane with another header. Hits the woodwork. Cleared away for another corner. How are we not finding a way through? We are knocking on the door. We are cold calling. Can we just find something here? It's been a bit of a struggle so far. Vargas to Havertz, who whips in. Keane again with another header. I'm running out of fingers on one hand that I can count the headers that Moise Keane's had in this first half. I mean, it's 0-0, but it should be a very, very different game. A draw here is not good, by the way. A draw here, and even if we were to win our other game in hand, we would find ourselves 1 point behind PSG. I know they've still got Bordeaux to play. I know they've still got Monaco to play, but the reality is that they could go for the rest of the season and not lose. We need to win every game from here on out. Vargas's free kick is disappointing, and it could open up an opportunity for a counter, although Ndombele puts an end to that thought. Ball whipped in, Keane hits it, finally finds the back of the net. I thought we were in danger as that free kick was blocked because we did commit a lot of men forward and it looked like Bordeaux were going to commit men forward. And to be honest, in going for that counter-attack, you can see here they're swarming forward. Our players just caught the wrong side, but in doing that, they kind of left themselves exposed at the back, and the ball was superb actually by Ndombele. Make no mistake, another assist for him. And Moise Keane with the finish at the end of it was top-notch. We will hope for more of the same here. 1 goal ahead though, we can't afford to get too carried away. Leclerc with it, gives it now to Rojas. They've had 3 shots all game, they're yet to create a clear-cut chance, although they did have a half chance to be fair. Vargas wins it though in a good area here. Green grass ahead of him to roam into, he's going to do that, he whips it in. It's a speculative effort at best, really didn't have too many men committed to the attack. Don't feel like that was the highlight though. And now Rojas bringing the ball forward. Do we need to be nervous? We have stepped off horribly there as a midfield. Someone needs to go in and apply pressure to the man with the ball. Ball cleared away. Diaz hits it. I mean, that's a warning shot, isn't it? We take the lead and within 2 minutes they're having an effort like that. Heart in mouth moment. And they're on the attack again here. Rojas with it. Toussaint heads it clear, but only as far as Max Cacare, our own player, who of course is on loan at Bordeaux. Imagine if he was to be involved in a goal. It would be a moment where I look back on my life and think, why did I put a clause in his contract with the loan that said he could play against us? Rojas now with it. Ball is cleared and blocked. Toussaint bringing the ball out from danger here. Maulida now with it. Can he play the ball across? Players queuing up. Keane's there. Falls to Havertz. He finds the back of the net. We will take that. I'm going to take off Maulida for Gabels for the sake of fitness, but that is a massive goal because ever since we scored, it was only 10 minutes ago, but since we've scored, as we've seen, they've had chances. They've been having the ball in our half. We've punished them on the break nicely here, though. Maulida, with his crossing, it was okay. The block was decent on Moise Keane's initial effort, but it fell kindly to Kai Havertz, who has been finding some form as of late. A 7th goal of the season for him. Going to confirm our change, bringing in Gabels. 20 minutes left. I'm kind of happy for us to just hold on and see this out. I'm going to take off Ndombele because he is struggling just a little bit with his fitness. He's a player who's been more and more important to us as this year's gone on. Sunday's not had the best game either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Vargas to the right and bring in Trincao. It's kind of our common subs right now, really, bringing in Trincao. He's not contributed massively on off the bench, but he's kind of just been a valuable player to have to just bring on in this kind of game. Fresh legs in a wide area where we do command a lot of our players. And well, the good news is we are looking very good here. We could add a third. It would be lovely to do so. They could equally try to hit us on the break here. And with 3 minutes left, it would be perhaps a moment of squeaky bum time. Sibali now with Usama. Bordeaux looking to build up play. You thought they were going to hit us on the break. They've slowed it down a little bit, but they're carving away through. Vargas with a big tackle on Rojas, but it might not be the only chance here. There might be more to be done. Mini with the ball here. Plays it all the way back to Maxi Cacare. You can see it's like a 3-on-3 at the back in the middle. It's risky, high risk, and we're pressing hard here, but that is going to leave space in behind. Bordeaux, I mean, if they get one now, I will not be comfortable. I will squirm in my chair for the remaining 2 minutes of the game. Leclerc here with it. Now with Rojas, who breaks through and he does score. I'm not going to go more defensive. I did it against PSG in the 87th minute. It backfired. I'm not familiar with Matias Rojas. He looks pretty good, the Paraguayan? Yeah, it says Paraguay on it, Jack. You can read it. I've realised that through playing Football Manager with logo packs on, I've got this weird knack of recognising various national team football association badges. I'm sure you've seen those quizzes that pop up like on Facebook or Twitter. It's like, name the club badges. Really good at those. Thank you, Football Manager, for teaching me it. And football associations. I just have a pointless knowledge of football association badges. Anyway, it's 2-1 here. Time is up. Just blow the whistle. Just do it. Put us out of our misery. 2-1 win. Not the most crazy convincing win ever, but it's a win against the team in 4th. It's a big win. Make no mistake. I don't want to speak too soon. They could still score. As unlikely as that might seem at this moment in time, we're just holding on to the ball at the back. That is it. Jobs are done. Who got man of the match? I think it might have ended up being Havertz. Oh no, it was actually Rojas for getting their goal. I mean, questionable, I feel like. With that result, we do secure Champions League football. That is going to mean our budgets for next season are set. How much are we going to be given? Let's find out, shall we? We're going to be given 64 million and our wage budget's been set at 2.5 million for the year. Our current committed spend is way below that. So we have loads of money in the bank. £232,000 in the bank, £64 million transfer budget. Can I just buy Joe Gomez? I know he's been linked with PSG. I think the wages might be a struggle there. We could potentially sign Saul or Dele Alli. It's one of the few positions where I don't really need another player. They've got Ezequiel Palacios here, Porto. He's usually very good in FM. He actually looks a tiny bit underwhelming, dare I say it here. I mean, Barrientos. He looks pretty good, doesn't he, as a goalkeeper? He's actually got an international cap for Argentina. Dele Alli is pretty good in FM. He's playing for a Tottenham side who are top of the Premier League. He's not actually had the best season ever. Anyway, good result. We'll take it. Now can Sochaux do a massive favour for us all. They're bottom of the league. I expect nothing. I'm prepared to be disappointed. They scored 2 goals. Unfortunately, they conceded 4. Which, if you can do maths, means they lost 4-2. I mean, it doesn't even take maths. It takes an interpretation, the ability to understand English. Which I'm going to assume, if you're watching this video, you must have some. Even if occasionally I use weird terminology that you're just like, what is he talking about? Like, what is that weird expression that he's saying in English? I'm sure there's some that you if you're a non-native speaker, you listen to and just go, what is happening? It's all part of the fun. Anyway, we now have Lille, who are 7th. Now, given the fact we slipped up against Guingamp, I'm not taking this game lightly. I am not going to take this game for granted. Easy win predict. Don't say that. Don't say that, press. Easy win predicted for Lyon. Right, Lyon, you're in 9th. At home against PSG. Do us a... They've drawn. That's great. That is great. Our goal difference is very marginal with PSG, though. Does it go to head-to-head? But I can't remember if I think it's goal difference, not head-to-head. Let's consult it. Stages. Rules, rather, is what I want. League sorting rules is goal difference, then results between teams. We drew against PSG. We beat them as well, right? If I'm not mistaken. Am I mistaken? Am I not mistaken? No, I am mistaken. We lost them 2-1. So we have to have better goal difference than them. Which, we have 2 games in hand. I mean, this is assuming we lose one, by the way. They're 3 points ahead of us. We have 2 games in hand. But our goal difference is only 3 below theirs. Interesting. I mean, it takes a little bit of the pressure off this game against Lille, but make no mistake, I still want to win it. Still need a result here. Let's see if we can get it, shall we? I am going to start Gabels for this game. He is fit and raring to go. Do I continue to drop Aouar? I mean, Havertz has been in great form. I think I have to. Vargas has been a little bit disappointing as of late. It's a strong squad, isn't it, when you look at it, really? I just wonder if Havertz would be better served as an advanced playmaker on attack rather than a trequartista. You know what? It might be a weird game to experiment with it. Let's give it a go. I like the trequartista on Trincao, but Havertz is a slightly different player. I feel like he's more methodical as a player. I feel like when you look at the trequartista... I mean, to be fair, the role isn't really that different, but like in terms of acceleration and balance, Havertz isn't as tricksy, I feel like, in that regard. So he's still pretty blooming good, isn't he? I feel like Trequartista sounds like it has flair. I look at Havertz and think like industrious German playmaker. It's not that different, as I said, in terms of roles. If anything, it might just suit Havertz a teeny bit better. We'll have to wait and see. We're taking on Lille here, not changing anything about the team. We're going in with the team that played that previous match and played it well. This is not going to be easy. They're in 7th. Away from home is where we've looked a little shaky. Angers have taken the lead against Monaco. That's great. Mousset, if you can keep doing that, please do. Lille early on in this game having a lot more shots than us. That is very uncharacteristic. And now it's with Pepe, who cuts inside, hits it. Oh my word. Please don't do that. They've been way better in this first 15 minutes. I'm going to get shouty. I don't want to do push forward. I wanted to do demand more. I misclicked. Our players are going to be unhappy. It falls to Keane, who hits the woodwork. Oh my word. End-to-end stuff to start the game. I don't think the players are going to react well. Yeah, I knew they were going to react badly. If they now score, it's going to be all down to the fact that I shouted push more instead of demand more. Oh my gosh, that's fortunate. Lenglet gets it clear. It's Pepe at the back post. I don't want to say I'm panicking. 2 shots on a booking. Would it be a bad idea to go to the 5-man midfield already? I just don't know how we fit our players in it. That's the only issue. I mean, it doesn't fit, does it? It just doesn't fit. This bit looks fine. This is the issue. It's a bad idea. Right. Cancel. I'm going to stick with what we're doing right now, even though we're a little bit on the back foot and I'm a little bit scared because of it. Mabara, cross it. I mean, maybe I should be changing things. They have got very prominent wide players, Lille, and I feel like that is causing us all kinds of problems. So with that in mind, I am actually going to make the very bold decision to change the system drastically early on in this game. This is going to involve doing some changes that you are going to scratch your head at. I would probably be doing the exact same, but by the same token, I've got to change things up here. So, David Diaz, you're going to come in and play right back. Lenglet's going to play left back. Toussaint on a booking. I'm actually going to change to be centre mid on defend. And then I'm going to give him the instruction to ease out of tackles because he is already on a booking. Ideally, I would have liked to have taken him off early on. They've had another chance here. I mean, imagine if they got a second in 2 minutes while I'm dilly-dallying thinking about how I want to change things. Sunday's now picked up a booking as well. I'm going to demand more from the players. Drastic change in system. It has to be done. They've been the better team. They've created significantly more. This is problematic. This is not the game that I wanted us to have. We've not had a game like this in a long time where I feel like our system's been completely dismantled. But this is one of them where they have real talent in the wide areas and they are going to use them as almost secondary forwards, you know, Lille. Got Pepe out on one wing, who's very, very good. So, changing to a more conventional system. I'm hoping we can win the midfield battle, or at least start to. They put the ball wide here to Maya, who crosses it in. David Diaz just about gets it away. Toussaint gives it a helping hand. Could we hit on the break now? Sunday bringing the ball forward. Dinks wide to Keane, who crosses it in. Toussaint, free header just wide of the post. It's the best chance we've had all game. It's the first real clear-cut chance for us as well. I mean, at half-time it's 1-0. I don't feel like we're out of this game by any means, but I am concerned. Putting a lot of pressure on Gabels as well, playing him as the out-and-out striker. I'm actually wondering, do I almost want him and Keane around? Play Gabels as the inside forward? You know what? I think I do. It might be a mad decision. I'm also going to take off Toussaint for Kareem Thomas, I think, in this situation. Although Kareem Thomas isn't that great as a natural centre mid. I could potentially play Sanchez in the team. Or I could bring in Aouar. I might bring in Aouar for Toussaint. Play Ndombele as a deep line playmaker on defend. Havertz will keep on advanced playmaker. And you know what? I'm going to take a bit of a risk here. I am going to move Aouar onto Mazzala. Changing things up here, but I feel like I've got to do something drastically different. We deserve to win this match. Let's dig in and get it. Make a difference for us, all of you. You can all do it. I believe in you. So we're making a few bold changes here. I don't think I've ever made these changes, but I feel like it makes some sense, right? I want us to have a deep line playmaker who's going to seize possession of the ball more. And I feel like Awar can come in and play Mazzala quite nicely. We'll have to wait and see. They've got a chance here. 59 minutes gone. Ball whipped in. So that could be a penalty. It's going to be a penalty. You don't have to go to VAR. I know it's a penalty because it's one of these. That's unfortunate. David Diaz could be about to, well, have conceded a penalty. I'm almost certain it's going to be given. It is a penalty, right. I mean, Donnarumma, I've spent a lot of money on you. This is the kind of moment where you can justify your price tag in one fell swoop. If you can save this and we go on to get a point. Maya takes it. Donnarumma goes the right way but can't stop it. We've got to be more direct here. We've got to get it forward. Distribute it to the flanks. Get it out quicker when you need to. I mean, we're already fully pressing. Maya. I've not seen that much of this guy. He plays for Bayern in real life here. You can see he was on loan actually from them. He looks okay. He's not crazy good. He took the penalty for them here. It wasn't a bad penalty at all. Right into the bottom corner. I have one sub left. I've got 25 minutes left to make something happen here. What do I do? I'm going to take off Sunday and bring in Maulida. I think that's the play. Oh, this is tempting. I've never done this before. How would I line them up as a group? For like a complete forward on support in the middle? Complete forward on attack. Yes, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to three strikers. I don't think I've played this all year. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I've used all my subs, so we're kind of limited in what else we can do here. I'm going to play Havertz as a deep line playmaker on support. And then going to play both Ndombele and Awar as Mazzala's looking to make runs into the wider areas. I'm hoping they'll work okay together. I've not used Mazzala's on opposite sides to one another. No longer distribute to flanks. We are looking to punch a hole straight through the middle of the team. Hit early crosses as well. We can now afford to do. Right. I mean, it's a roll of the dice. I need a point from this game. Let's see what we can do, shall we? Unfortunately, we've just never been at the races. We've not really turned up. Statistically, we have re-entered the game. But we were so slow to start. And Xhaka, I mean, there you go. That's the game killed, isn't it? It was always going to be a roll of the dice, throwing more men forward. But Lille have been very, very clinical. I knew this wasn't going to be an easy game. What is perhaps the most painful thing about this is the damage it is doing to our goal difference. Because goal difference is a factor. It is something that we've got to look at and think about. I mean, 3 goals in the last 10 minutes, easy. Moise Keane on a 6.0 is slightly concerning, isn't it? It's usually a sign when a striker has that lower a rating that things just haven't been very good. I mean, Moise Keane breaking through here. If we get one back, it'd be nice for the goal difference. If Gabel gets it, it'd be good for his confidence. Unfortunately, he's been denied by the keeper. This is one of those games where Plan A, the three at the back system, just hasn't really worked because of how good they are. We've changed to Plan B and it's been kind of more solid but not superb. And then Plan C, a bit of desperation perhaps, just hasn't worked either. I mean, you can see here, clear-cut chances and half chances, they're pretty 50-50. On another day, we take some of these chances and it's a very different game. But unfortunately, we've not taken them today and a 3-0 result is probably what we deserve based on just how poor on an individual basis we were in this game. It does mean that we need to win our game in hand 6-0 to go equal with PSG. So we actually need to win it 7-0 to go back to the top of the table. It's another situation where we're going to sit there hoping that they slip up some more. David Diaz wants to open up contract talks after his performance. I mean, no. You've just lost a game 3-0 and you want a new contract. Thank you for sacking your agent. I love that. Lose 3-0, defender starts demanding a new contract. It's like rubbing salt in the wound. It's like they want to hurt me more. Alright, we've got Toulouse in the French Cup here. They're second division team, so actually with this game, first thing I'm going to actually do is save our best 11 here. I think this is pretty much our best 11. Maybe Lucas Romero actually coming in for Renato Sanchez, but I'm going to save this using the presets, which I always recommend you use as our 3-5-2, not 2-5-2. And then what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to set all of these players to be rested for a day. And then we're going to quick pick, and it's going to pick just a fully rotated team for us. With highly debatable squad balance looking at it. But in terms of the actual team, it's going to be just a fully rotated starting 11. I'm actually going to play Taylor ahead of Maulida, I think. Probably need a centre-back on the bench. And maybe a centre mid or two. Although we've got one. Wagnerman probably isn't needed on the bench, let's be honest. We'll bring in Oliver for him. But Toulouse in the second division now for the last game of today's game. The last game of today's episode, rather. It's a quarter-final game. We should be winning this. I don't really want to risk player fitness and stuff. We should be able to beat a second division team with our second string side convincingly. And I need to rest them because the fixture congestion is getting mad and there's a Europa League game on the horizon that I'm a little bit wary of, shall we say. Keane continuing to do well in training. Oliver is not. Let's tell him we're disappointed. Sunday's also developing really nicely. I do wonder what Sunday's potential is like. Like, how far can he continue to improve? Because he already looks top draw, the 19-year-old. Like, he's just an exciting player for the future. We're doing okay, though. We're doing okay. It's not great. It could be better. It could be worse. Lil, can you now do us a favour against PSG to make amends? The fact that PSG are playing again, by the way, is mental. Like, they're going to constantly have like a 2-goal advantage in terms of games played over us. Monaco are also playing today against Brest, so they're going to pull further away from us as well, potentially. I need miracles. I need Lille to do us a favour. Have they done us a favour? No, they haven't. They've lost 2-0. Neymar's back in the squad as well. It's not ideal. Anyway, here's our rotated 11. Lopez potentially playing his last game for us. Alongside him, we've got Guille, of course, who's been top draw. We are going to see Mamadou Sakho come into the team for an unlikely appearance. Of course, just brought in really as squad depth. Kareem Thomas is going to play that ball-winning midfielder position for us. Really like him in this area of the pitch. Bast out on the right, back from his long-term injury. Physicals have tanked a little bit, so a chance for him to improve. Trincao on the left. He's been in and out of the team, really. I think since Christmas, where we let go of Shadas, he's kind of come in and been that plan B on the left-hand side. The attacking trio up top, though, perhaps where things get most exciting. Freitas is going to play that attacking midfielder position for us. Stavarace, complete forward. And then we're also going to play Taylor as our advanced forward. When you look at that front three and their ages, it's actually crazy how good they are going to be longer term. Also got Spagnolo on the bench, the youngster we signed from Napoli, you might remember, in January. Lots of regens, but I guess that's to be expected when you play a reserve and kind of rotated team in your 5th season. I feel like at that point you've kind of started to, if you're me, you've started to hoard the regens, but even if you haven't and you don't, hoard young players, you've usually got a few, I feel like, at this point. 5 years in, those hot prospects, the ones you've raised like your own child. And you're starting to get sentimentally attached to them. There's a few of those here, definitely. Bast has been a bit of a pain in the arse. I'm hoping he's going to prove to be the problem child who was going to be worth persisting with, of course. Bit of an ego on him, I feel like. The fact that he was able to force a move away from Bayern Munich, aged 17 or 18, I think speaks volumes. Anyway, speaking of the devil, here he is, whipping the ball in. There's a foul just off the ball there, Stavarace. And we've got an early penalty here, which is going to be taken by Aouar. His form has not been great. He's missed a few crucial penalties for us in recent games. Can he get one here? He can. Not quite the high-pressure situations that he's had to take his most recent few in, but make no mistake, he scored on the spot. It's his 14th of the year. Keeper goes the wrong way. We find the back of the net. It's taken a little while for our reserve team here, but we do find ourselves ahead. Where are Toulouse? They're second in Ligue 2, so they're a good team. At least relative to their division, of course. A team who have yo-yoed between Ligue 1 and Ligue 2 in this save. Be nice to get a second before half-time. Just give us a little bit of breathing room, if they may. Anyway, Freitas with it here. Puts it wide to Bast, who is going to maraud on forward. Now down the line to Taylor, who crosses it in, seeking out Trincao, who's there. That is a lovely little finish. The ball by Taylor as well was superb. We found that second before half-time. I can breathe a sigh of relief. We've been a little hit and miss lately, and there was part of me that thought, well, maybe I should just play my strongest 11 in this game, even if we are playing a team in a lower league. But I need to rotate things. I need to give players rest. We've talked about it. It can't be understated. The fixture congestion right now for this month is just crazy. We knew we were going to slip up in games, I feel like, in this run. The question was, were we going to slip up as much as PSG? And unfortunately, with PSG getting knocked out at the Champions League and the French Cup, they've just got the league to focus on now. Things are a little easier for them. Of course, they have got tricky games coming up. They've got Bordeaux to play. They've got Monaco to play. I can't envisage a world where they win all of their remaining games from here on out. We'll have to wait and see, of course. A win here will take us to the semi-final of the French Cup as well, which would be great. They have broke free here. Lopez, an orthodox save, but he keeps it out, the Portuguese keeper. But maybe a warning shot in our direction. You know, Toulouse, they haven't created anything up until that point, but that is a clear-cut chance on the break. They are going to look to cause us problems. And Stavarace is going to cause his own problems with tackles like that. That is just a striker's challenge and a half. At the break, 2-0. We've been convincing. We've been the better team. Just got to try and keep it going as best we can, I guess. Don't really want to use subs here either. I guess the only exception might be Trincao. Not Trincao, Aouar. In fact, I will bring him back after Aouar. I just want to save his legs as much as anything. Although he has been on the bench recently with Havertz emerging into the first team. He is a player who we rely on a lot, Aouar. I don't really want to lose him in a dead game like this where we've already won. Trincao, free kick. What an effort that is. Falls to Stavarace for the rebound. Don't feel like that happens nearly enough for the number of free kicks which get parried away this year in FM. But Stavarace does make it makes it 3-0. 6th goal of the season for him. Young Romanian striker. Massive, massive future ahead of him, I feel like. Free kick you can see there. Clawed off the line, but it fell straight to the young Romanian. If we could get a 4th now in the 50th minute, I might even look to bring in someone like Spagnolo, getting the real youngsters, the 16-year-olds into the team. Bast bringing the ball forward here out on the right. All on his lonesome, really, but does superbly well to get the ball in. Falls to Freitas, who hits it, blocked only as far as Becker, who lays it to Trincao. Wow, that was an interesting save by their keeper. Not entirely away from danger, needed help from the defence, but it has now got away. I'm going to bring in Spagnolo, I think. I like the look of this guy. He's 17. You can see, look how much he's... Okay, I didn't realise he'd improved this much. He looks very good, doesn't he? I want to have a further look at his profile. Let's go to tactics. I mean, he's exciting for the future with improvements like this. I don't mind a selfish striker either. Right, we'll bring him in. I'm going to take off Taylor, who's on a booking. Let's see if the 17-year-old can cap off his recent development with a good little goal in a fairly big game. The French Cup quarter-final is valuable experience for players of all ages, but you know, particularly for youngsters who aren't going to feature in the league games unless an injury crisis strikes between now and the end of the year. This is their little platform to shine, their little platform to show what they're made of. And while Stavarace, he's kind of making a case for having him on the bench ahead of Freitas, I've got to be honest. Trincao with the assist as well from the corner. Whipped to the back post. Keeper and defender have a bit of miscommunication. It falls kindly. He grabs another. He's on for the hat-trick now. Only 9 minutes to grab it, but you wouldn't bet against him, would you? Another assist maybe for Trincao as he whips it in. Cleared away, only as far as Thomas. Freitas now with it. I mean, he's heard the rumblings that I was thinking about dropping him. He's now scored a goal, hasn't he? Of course he has. Kareem Thomas with the assist. Paulo Freitas makes it 5-0. The rout is pretty much complete. It's another corner that, well, Toulouse just haven't dealt with. Ball initially cleared well. Great finish by Freitas. I know you can criticise the keeper for being beaten at the near post, but that finish kind of... I don't know, I don't feel like many keepers are going to stop that. And with that goal, that's going to be all she wrote. I feel like that'll be the last bit of action unless there's a very, very late chance here. Toulouse have a free kick. That is going to be GG 5-0. That is what the doctor ordered to end off today's episode, I feel like. Great little result for us. Yes, it's weakened opposition, but playing a rotated team, they've performed superbly. And it feels good. We've been issued a fine because we rotated the team too much between games. Who cares? They've given us a £6,000 fine and then we've gained 200 and something thousand pounds for just doing well. David Diaz, look, mate, you've just had your agent get sacked for asking for a new contract and now you want another one. To be fair, he's not got that long left on his current deal. He's not actually asking for that much money either. Although he is asking for like wage rises after league games, which I'm not a massive fan of. Signs a 5-year deal though on 20,000. We'll take that. Mendy, not in the craziest season for AC Milan. I'll be honest. Where are AC Milan in the league? I'm curious. They're 5th, so they're not having a terrible year. Durand has played pretty much every game for them as their keeper, which is good to see. Unfortunately, PSG winning there continues to put pressure on us. And, well, auto-saves are kicking in. That is a hint that I think we should end today's episode here. But I will say massive thank you to you guys for watching. Things are getting interesting to end the year. That result against Lille is difficult to shrug off, but we've got to try and do it. How many games are left? I think there's only 7 games left of the season in the league. Of course, we're going strong in all cup competitions, so there's still plenty more matches to go. But things are looking pretty good here. How many games left? We've got 8 games left. PSG have 6. Monaco have 5. Wow, the league is in a weird spot, isn't it, right now with the imbalance of games played. But Monaco are actually doing quite well and continuing to pile pressure on us to continue to do our thing. We'll have to see if we can continue to do our thing next time. But yes, that's all from me today, guys. Thank you for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed. Do drop a like on it if you have. I'll see you again soon. And it is me, Jack. And I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.